Hey friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're looking at this. This is another new knife by Sheen Cutlery. Sheen Cutlery is a brand of cutlery made by Bestech knives. Well, started by Bestech knives. The same people that own Bestech started this company. And what we've got is 3 of the knives of the XINCORE series. XINCORE was these ones. I reviewed this knife a couple of months ago. Very, very fancy new technology on the steel on this. Like they spray molten metal onto a metal core to create, a thicker piece of steel that's just, it's like science fiction, but it's of course real. And modern metallurgy is just stunningly awesome. This knife, this is a shape designed by ODYSEE from Poland. As you know, that's my favorite knife designer. And you can get this knife 4 different ways. You can get this with this pattern welded Damascus with an exclusive design on here that no other person or company makes, and it's simply stunning. This particular one I'm going to be sending on to my son's best friend who just got married as a wedding gift. So that's where this one's going to go. I've got 3 of these actually. What we have is pattern welded Damascus over a VG10 core, or, oh, it's over on the table. I'll show it to you in a minute. They've got the same knife design with Sandvik 14C28N, either with a satin polished finish, or they've got a black titanium polished coat, which is stunning, which I'm giving to my son and his partner. So I'm very, very happy to have these knives. And the other one we're keeping. It comes 2 ways, either a white handle or a black handle, and we've got a red liner in there. Let's go over to the tabletop and take a good close look at these knives. Let's begin by showing you the box. I can't put the whole thing on the screen at once, but there you go, the box that it comes in. We've got embossed, gold print there. Every Cut Matters is their logo. Kitchen knives, it says there. Sheen Kitchen Knives. And their contact information's on the back there. SheenCutlery.com. They do have their own factory store, which is not SheenCutlery.com. SheenCutlery.com is their manufacturer product information website, but they've started their own store at which you can get 10% off when you use my link to go shopping there. Or you can use my discount code. If you use my link, your code is automatically put in. Otherwise, you can put in my code, and the code is CCE. The links and the codes are listed down below the video, and I'll add them to the comments as well for the store. Now, I have unboxed this before and I've used it. I just put it back in. You get a document that has all the information on it, and a microfiber cloth, a Kydex guard, which is very nice to have, and the knife. It's well packed and great for gift giving. We've got a, sort of a taco folded Kydex with a felt liner in there, and like this, you can store it in your cutlery drawer and you're protecting the edge, and then just take it out when you need to use it. This is a very nice touch. This is durable, not just some cheap plastic. It's proper Kydex, so very durable and a very nice touch. I'm very happy to have this on this knife. Now, here's what we've got. Now, unfortunately, it's really hard to take video of shiny stuff. And so these blades are going to be hard to show off. But hopefully you can see that Damascus pattern that you've got on there. You can see that heart pattern in there all across the whole thing. And there's their Sheen logo there. And on this side, it says ODYSEE Design. And that's all the writing that's on these knives. We've got a typical chef's knife shape, a drop point, lots of belly. very thin behind the grind, and very, very sharp. Like, if you watch my channel and you watch my pocket knives, those reviews, no, those aren't sharp compared to how sharp all three of these came, and they're very well done. Now, the sharpening that they do, I found near the tip here, their angle tends to be a bit different, but they're quite consistent along most of the length, and they're very thin behind the grind, perfect for a chef's knife. The blade has a rounded off, well, just slightly rounded off spine, and this heel section here, where your hand is going to touch, that's nicely rounded as well, so there's no square edges there to irritate your skin. It's nice and soft. You know, if you rub your hand on there, it's no problem at all. Doesn't feel, you know, a little bit irritating or anything. It's just great. The handle scales, we've got G10 red liners and then G10 outer scales. And they're definitely 3D milled. We've got a flat facet here, a big chamfer here, a very big chamfer here, and then small chamfers on, you know, the beginning of the handle and the end of the handle there as well. A very nice handle. I did notice that the white ones, they came slightly dirty from the factory. Now, I haven't washed them yet, so you can see that there's a little bit of dirt there. So if you're going to give these as a gift, probably, if you order the white ones, probably open it up and wash these. You know, use a, you know, same as you hand wash dishes. You know, just wash the white handle scales a little bit. There's a little bit of a texture on them. You can see that they were milled. Like, here's these lines going in that direction across here. It just provides a little bit of extra grip. They're very comfortable in hand. Like, these flat facets here, they just feel right. And if you want to do a forward pinch grip, that works as well. And you can do your, you know, rocking chopping, or you can do your tapping chopping. If you just do the tap chopping, that much of your edge is touching the cutting board if you want the heel touching. And of course, a rocking method is really good as well. I brought out my cutting board. That's why you see scratch lines on it. And figured I'd use that as the backdrop for the video. It also comes in the black handle. Other than that, this knife is exactly identical. Or you can get it in 14C28N, like I said. Now, this one is the black titanium that's been polished. There's a slight difference with this knife. We've got a chamfer that goes about that far along the blade on either side, which the Damascus one doesn't have. And we've got a full thickness of the tang here, whereas this one, the bevel just sort of transitions smoothly into being the full tang over there. So, slight difference, but it's also rounded here at the spine. Other than that, the shape is identical. You see the O-Step Held Design name up there, and of course, Sheen Cutlery, and here you see 14C28N. Let's go over all the specs, all that kind of stuff. How heavy is this knife? 230 grams, 8.1 ounces. Oh, I forgot to show the balance point earlier. Right there. Perfect balance point, right where you pinch the knife. That's, well, no other word for it. That's the perfect balance point. Sharpness. How sharp were these knives from the factory? Well, they averaged out to 60 best. 60 best is very sharp. It's very, very rarely that I have a knife that is that sharp. I've got my own testing equipment, how I can measure sharpness. I've got a video on that if you want to see that. And 60 best is phenomenally good, especially averaged over 3 knives. One was a little bit more, one was a little bit less. One of them was right on 60. The length of the cutting edge, that is 217 millimeters, 8.54 inches. The blade length tipped to the handle scales, 226 millimeters, 8.9 inches. The thickness of the blade, I measured, up from the heel of the blade straight up. That's where I measured it. And the Damascus ones are a bit thinner because if you go straight up from the heel of the blade, you're still at this thick ricasso part here. So this knife The blade stock that they started with is 2.76 millimeters thick. That's 0.1085 of an inch. These are a little bit thinner right there, and they're not that much thicker right here at the tang. It's pretty close to the same, and that is 2.01 millimeters, 97 thousandths of an inch thick. The blade depth, that's this measurement at the widest point, 47.8 millimeters, 1.88 inches. How thick is it behind the grind? So that's just after that sharp bevel there. I measured all three of them in 3 places, so that's 9 measurements. It averaged out to 0.38 millimeters, 15 thousandths of an inch. Now that's ideal. That's a perfect measurement for a chef's knife. The grind angles. As I said earlier, the grind angles, they didn't do a great job. They did a pretty good job on the 2 Damascus versions. This 14C28N one wasn't sharpened quite as well. I think if somebody from Sheen is watching, and I think they are, I think you need to go over your staff, your sharpening, how well they're doing, and measure a few of them. This knife measured out at an average of 16.2 degrees on this side and an average of 15.1 degrees on this side. But on this side, from the heel to the tip, along that length, the angle changed 5.1 degrees across that length. Now that's not good. The angle shouldn't be changing that much. These other two, quite a bit better. First off, the white one, this one here, that one, it was 15.5 degrees on one side, 17.6 degrees on the other side, and both of them had 2.4 degrees of variability on either side. So that's okay. Like compared to most of the knives that I review, that's simply how factory sharpening goes, because they do it hand sharpening. They're not using a machine to sharpen the cutting edge. This black one was done the best out of the box. 13.9 degrees on one side, 13.2 degrees on the other side, and the maximum variability was half a degree along the length of the knife. So this guy was sharpened very, very, very well. It also had the lowest number for the sharpness. 45 bests on this guy. Now for the handle length, the length of the handle is 132.8 millimeters, 5.23 inches. The thickness of the handle, the widest point, 21.6 millimeters, 0.851 of an inch. The handle depth, 25.3 millimeters, 0.996 of an inch. The grip area is roughly, of course, there's no perfect, or there's no exact number for the grip area because your hand can move, right? But it's a little over 11.5 centimeters, a little over 4.5 inches, so this fits pretty much every hand. The total length of this knife from tip to the end, 363 millimeters, 14.29 inches. That's a big knife. What I was saying about the handle scales and the hand sizes, my hands are just barely into the extra large range, just a little bit over large size for men's hands in North America. My wife has ladies' medium hands, and she likes the grip on this a lot. She finds it very good, and I find it very good. So they found a way to make their handle scales simply work really well for a lot of different people, and I'm very happy about that. So that's the measurements for this knife. What's the price on this guy? I don't know what it's going to be at other stores. The only place I see it is at Sheen Cutlery store, Top Knives Collection, something like that. I haven't memorized the name of it. And they are selling the Damascus version for $169 US. Take off 10% with my code, makes it $152.10. And the 14C28 ones are $119 American, which after the 10% discount is $107.10. Is that too much for a knife? Yeah, I don't think so. And this knife, it's the season right now. We're coming up to wedding season. If you've got someone in your life who's going to be getting married, this is a beautiful gift for them. Not only is it a great looking knife with those heart shapes all along it, and they're just done so well. It's also a very good functioning knife. So it's a tool and a beautiful item all in one. And I just love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. And I recommend it. I recommend it highly, very highly. You know, if your budget's a little bit tighter, you know, the 14C28N is still a good steal. And you can get it with that polished satin finish or this polished black titanium finish. And my son and his partner, they decided to take this one. I told them I was going to give them a knife, and I let them choose between these. And this has got a really nice modern look to it. And my son's girlfriend just really, really likes it. Fiance, I guess. And it's a beautiful knife. Very happy that they got it. So I'm going to be giving away 2 of these, and I'm keeping the other one for myself. Now, I'm not giving it to you guys as viewers. You know, this one's going to my son, and this one's going to a close family friend who just got married, and this one we're keeping. So that's the way it is. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you've got any questions about these knives, leave them down in the comments below, and I will answer the questions. I look at all the comments on all the videos, even if you comment on a video that I made 5-6 years ago. If you comment, I'll get notified of it and I will reply. It might take me a few days, but I will reply. And if you own some nice kitchen knives, chef's knives, whatever, and you need to get them sharpened, I've got a custom knife sharpening business. You can send your knives to me and I will sharpen them. And certainly if they're fixed blade knives like this, you can send them from anywhere in the world and I can sharpen them. If you've got pocket knives that you'd like to have custom sharpened, the best way to send them to me from outside of Canada, even within Canada, is to take it apart and just send me the blade. If you email me, jake@canadiancuttingedge.com, I will give you instructions on how to do it. I just got my official business license for doing this business in my house today. Town council just approved it today. So I am up and running. If you have bought one of my knives in the past and it was sharpened by me, please go to my website, CanadianCuttingEdge.com. There's a section down on that page that says testimonials, and leave a testimonial. Please only talk about this sharpening of the knife. Don't talk about buying knives from me. I'm not going to delete it if you do, but it's for my sharpening business. So leave your comments there, your testimonials about how well Canadian Cutting Edge can sharpen knives. I would appreciate it very much because testimonials will push my business forward. Thank you very much. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.